I consider him the epitome of Zambia.
There is no Zambia without KK.
I regard him or consider him in the class of Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King.
He's a living legend, I must say. He's a living legend.
I have to give it to the old man. He doesn't know, if that's the right term, when to quit. Because he just goes and goes. After office, it's like he never left.
I just thank God, young man, that he has made it possible for me to live this long and be able to help reshape this nation into something wonderful.
I consider him the epitome of Zambia.
Look at what he has done for this country. I think we owe him quite a great deal.
That's the person we admire his life. We would like to be like him.
Kaunda he was a brand. He was the brand. I remember, yeah, right. Yes, but those days, I mean, he was on the money. He was on the coins. He was powerful.
Kaunda is quite a special man.
He fought for independence.
Zambia, a landlocked country in south-central Africa, home to the mighty Zambezi River and the Victoria Falls. A former British colony, Zambia gained independence on 24th October 1964. Kenneth David Kaunda was the first president of independent Zambia. He ruled Zambia through a one-party state system until the democratic wave swept through the African continent. Kaunda conceded defeat in free and fair elections on the 2nd of November 1991. An African leader's life is considered to end after they leave office, but this has not been the case with Kaunda. This year, Kaunda celebrated his 88th birthday, and from the look of things, he is not slowing down.
Happy birthday, dear Kenneth.
Musician, sportsman, author, and now fashion icon, Kaunda is out and about. What keeps him going? That's what we want to find out.
My name is Kenneth Kaunda, first president of Zambia. For my family, whose father is a reverend, whose mother is a teacher.
It's got like a laughter, goes, you know, there's so much soul in the grandfather laughter. So innocent and so real.
Kaunda is one leader who believed in visiting communities. He would visit an ordinary ward chairman of his party in a township, and all of us would gather. He would visit a market, and everybody would go there. He would visit our schools, and lining up for him was so much fun. Waiting, sometimes you don't even see his face, but you would be sure of seeing his handkerchief.
We would be asked to line the roads, and they would give us these nice little Zambian flags, and he would come with his motorcade and he would slow down, take out his handkerchief, you know, would flash his biggest smile, and he would wave at us.
I forget I am Kenneth Kaunda's grandson because it's just something that I am. But often it's people that remind me who I am. When he remembers me, I'm surprised. He knows my name. But yes, he knows who we are. he doesn't forget he doesn't forget his grandkids. There was one time I do remember, I did have a long talk with Granddad, and it was very insightful. He told me, I asked him, is this what you expected after independence? He just laughed.
From the media perception, you know, this is an interviewer's interviewee. He makes you look good. His ability to drive home the issue of international, peace. The man reminded me of Gandhi. You know what I mean? All he wanted was to see this world free.
I met Dr. Kaunda in 1960 in Osaka. Talking to him, I got inspired, and I got inspiration that this was a man who was fighting for something that we as Africans in those days believed in.
What has helped me to shape my life is the teaching, love God, your Creator, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. As to that one, he has made in his image like you. The teaching is love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. When I got involved in the struggle for independence against British colonialism, I realized we had 73 tribes in my country, Zambia today, Northern Rhodesia in those days. Indigenous tribes, but new tribes came in, the English, the Welsh, the Scottish, the Indian, Pakistan, many colors, many tribes. How to shape our nation into something.
The struggle that he asked all of us to wage was militant resistance to colonial rule, but no violence. He was not an advocate of violence, and he was greatly inspired in this regard by people like Mahatma Gandhi of India and Jawaharlal Nehru. For a man who had spent so much time being harassed by the colonial government and being put into prison, he still came out without bitterness and still said that we should not adopt violence as one of our tactics in terms of winning national independence for our country.
We began to develop along those lines. In the struggle, one Zambia, one nation. After the struggle, after winning our independence, still one Zambia, one nation. Now, young man, where this approach is accepted, there's genuine peace. Where it is not accepted, disaster, chaos, death in thousands.
In terms of the One Zambia, One Nation, it is something that is not just a history. It's laid the foundation of the unity of Zambia.
That wasn't just Dr. Kaunda's motto. It's a Zambian motto. One Zambia, one nation. Because some of the problems that we are witnessing sometimes are also as a result of departing from our own motto, which says that one Zambia, one nation. It doesn't matter whether you're Bemba, you're Tonga, you're Lozi, Luvale, whatever tribe you are a Zambian.
He sacrificed, first of all, his own personal life, the lives of Zambians, and Zambia as a whole, to fight to ensure that the other neighboring countries also attained their political independence. It wasn't easy. Zambia lost lives. Zambia spent money.
We still have to do more. In the PTA sub-region, we have the South African albatross, the abominable, archaic, and morbid system of apartheid that is being perpetuated by the South African racists.
Dr. Kaunda's vision at that time was not just that Zambia should be free, but that once Zambia was free, Zambia should also actively participate in the liberation struggle to assist Zambia's neighbors attain national independence. And he made it clear that a union government would support liberation struggles in Mozambique, in Angola, in Southern Rhodesia then, in South Africa against apartheid, in Southwest Africa, as Namibia was then called, in Guinea-Bissau. He was greatly inspired in this regard by the late Kwame Nkrumah, who always said, the first president of Ghana, who always said that for as long as any inch of Africa was not free, no African had the right to walk the streets of Africa feeling free in their own smaller countries unless the bigger continent had become free.
What it means, let us have one heart, one spirit, we work together so that we can develop.
I use music to reach out in many areas of human life. I love my music, and on my guitar I play many hymns. On my guitar I play one or two songs about my dear wife.
That girl here means a lot. Can I sing for her? Yes. I remember the night in your arms, underneath the pagan moon, taking away on a pillow of palms, as you watched the pagan moon. Every kiss was a sweet pagan prayer.
A singer, a lover, he definitely loved his Mama Betty, you know, and he still does, you know. That's amazing if you ask me.
His family suffered because during those tours of duty, it means that he was very rare at home. And in that, you cannot forget to bring in the first lady, Betty, that she had a very supportive wife. And for him to succeed, Betty must have also played a major role. And equally, I believe her life must be celebrated because she was there for him, looked after the children, and indirectly even looked after us as a nation. I'm sure she gave pep talk, bed pillow advice, which we're not privileged to.
I think it's their experience from during that colonial period that I think has really welded them. Because you don't go through something like that and fall apart, no. After all that, I'm sure it just brought them closer together because they had to stand together. Behind every great man is a woman, right? And I figure Betty Kaunda is that successful one for my grandfather.
He's a great example of the fact that it's actually possible to grow old with your lover and hold on to her.
This great creator, God, made that arrangement of man and woman. It is an extremely important source of life. And we have to respond to that challenge. We have to respond to that challenge in many ways. And thank God, my wife is 84, I'm 88, 65 years together. And wherever where they are kind enough to invite me to a wedding, I point fingers at them. Service to God's children comes first in that respect. I get invited today by various organizations because they believe that they can only invite me if they believe or they see that I will accept what they're doing. And if there's something I can do, I'll try and help. If there's nothing I can do, can I look around there somewhere else where can I come and help? If there is a gate that way, I will do that.
One nation.
Although I've heard my song several times, I'll still sing it. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye. We shed cheer, not a tear, make it gay. Oh, give me a smile I can keep in my heart for a while, far away. Till we meet once again, you and I. We shed cheer, not a tear, make it gay.
He's had an impact when it comes to, say, behavioral change. He's played a key role, for example, in taking the message out there to the young people about HIV/AIDS.
I lost a brilliant son to AIDS. And when you put him rest 2 weeks after that, I thought, as the leader of the nation, I should come out and announce that our son had died of AIDS. As leaders, we had a duty to show that we are fighting this discrimination against this disease. We are fighting AIDS, and not just for children, but the whole fight. Treatment is very important. We have a few clinics here and there, but we don't have enough to cover many parts of this country. We have little work on this in Nigeria. We started little work on this in South Africa.
Don't let the walking stick fool you. He's still going.
I've done events and he's been there, and every time you call upon, and it's a humble honor and pleasure to call upon our founding father, first Republican President, Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda. He comes to the microphone running.
Soccer is my game. I grew up in that one. And I don't think I can raise a team of people at 88. I'm still a golfer. I love the game. I do run. Every week I must run so many times. Inside my bedroom, I do a lot of exercises. That helps me to keep awake, alive, and when I overeat sometimes, I get worried.
Speaking for myself personally, but I know even a lot of people out there are very, very encouraged by Dr. Kaunda's choice of, food. He's a vegetarian.
In our struggle, because of racism, even in the business. We were taught, we were forced, rather not taught, we were forced to purchase our requirements through pigeonholes. And we had to fight that. Where even in churches, some areas, there were even churches for whites only. Christian faith. And that type of discrimination made me decide to fight, add to my mobilization of the people. At the stage, 1953, I decided it's not right to continue doing this, eating this meat which I get through the pigeonhole. I will not. So in 1953, I stopped taking that. So I've continued now to depend on vegetables, beans and so on. They keep me very fit.
Lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course,
It is something I admire. It is something that I would wear, and I'm glad you've mentioned that it is now available. Absolutely.
This is like the one that you wear for functions, because always for functions you want to have a dark suit. It's got the barcode with Kenneth Kaunda in it, and it's 180 wool. It's got space where to put the 2 pens. And we also branded the pens for his birthday. Kenneth Kaunda 88 at SBM. One Zambia. This has been a 10-year plan where we thought of what can we do to just bring to basics the things that we would like to do for great people. The last 3 months we had a meeting with his last born daughter, Cheswa. The following day I asked her, can I have his suits? So following day, she brought the suits. I looked at them, I saw the features, I took pictures, sent them to the manufacturer. I traveled to the manufacturer to explain what it is. So they were now making the sample.
When one is made into an icon, he's like, he has the Midas touch. Everything he touches will turn to gold. So it doesn't matter whether he's rocking check shirts or shorts, they will turn to gold. And believe me, they will become fashion icons because of who he is and what he has done. People want to wear his stuff. Why? Because it associates themselves with a great part of history.
We did modify it so that anybody can wear it. The odd guys, his comrades can wear it. The modern person can wear it. People who wear a T-shirt can wear it. People who want to wear a tie can still wear it.
Kaunda is not just a Zambian brand. He actually is an international brand. Wherever you go, you go to Jamaica, go to America, go to Australia, they know that's Kenneth Kaunda. He's an international brand, actually, and he's now becoming a fashion icon. Because if you go to Kenya, they call that suit the Kaunda suit.
You remind me of my great late friend and colleague and comrade in our struggle, Julius Kambarage Nyerere. We were meeting one day I think it was in Mbeya, I think. We were having a meeting of frontline states. He was dressed in my suit. I was dressing in my suit. And he said, these Kenyan people are very business-minded. And they're conscious. They said, no, but we can't reach Kaunda. And if he finds that we are using his suit in business, he'll sue us. So what we do is, let's call it Kaunda suit. And they call it Kaunda suit, so that Kaunda doesn't become angry when he sees it.
This is what we are developing for the ladies. So we've ordered one with the black buttons, one with the silver buttons, one short sleeves, one 3/4, and one long sleeves. So I'm sure it will be in the fabric of the Kaunda suit.
To have to say, oh, I'm wearing a Kaunda suit. My God, that's one of the greatest men in Africa.
There is no Zambia without KK.
Go to South Africa, a lot of people will celebrate Madiba for what he did to South Africa. But in this country, people do not necessarily celebrate him. But I personally, I regard him or consider him in the class of Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King.
We must take advantage of his existence. He's a living legend, I must say. He's a living legend.
By now, we should be talking about a Kaunda library, things like that, which is not there. And we shouldn't say until he dies. We want him to see some of these things.
Why don't we build a massive monument, you know, of him? Really? Yes, like what they've done in Santon for Mandela. I mean, we can build one like that. He's the first president of the sovereign Republic of Zambia. So that when the future generations look upon and say, who is this man with his handkerchief? I suggest they should build it, and it should be, you know what I mean? His statue will be like, people will be looking, who's this great man? Yeah. Great son of Zambia.
I have to give it to the old man. He doesn't know, if that's the right term, when to quit. Because he just goes and goes. After office, it's like he never left. He just keeps on going. It's like someone hasn't told him that you can't do this anymore, you're too old. No, he doesn't know that. He just keeps on serving and serving and serving after office.
The story of KK has not been, told at all. The world needs to know the story of KK. The world needs to know that even in troubled times, in troubled worlds, where we are faced with war, where we're faced with anguish, where we are faced with hatred, there's still a man who loves you and me, irrespective of where you come from, irrespective of the color. It is very rare in these times. It's time the world stood up, and give credit to this great man, the son of Africa, son of Zambia, and the son of the world.
I just thank God, young man, that he has made it possible for me to live this long and be able to help, through perhaps my mama's help in a way, small way, to help my colleagues who are in office today reshape this nation into something wonderful.